Today, I'm going to show you how to get your cost percentage down and your profits up. Let's go. Hey there, how you doing? Dave Allred, TheRealBarman here from barpatrol.net. Today we're talking about how to lower your cost percentage. Last video we talked about what cost percentage is, how to calculate it, and why it's important. Today I'm going to give you 7 tactics in which you can lower your cost percentage immediately, have instant impact on your bar or restaurant. Maybe you're doing some of them already, but if you employ just 2 or 3 of them, it's going to help a lot. If you employ all 7 of these, if you're not doing any of them, it could have a huge impact. The sky's the limit. So make sure to watch as we go through all these. Let's get right to it. I'm not going to waste any time today. Okay, let me just bring this up right here. There we go. Let me get out of the way. No, I don't like that side. Let's go to the other side. Okay, so 7 ways to lower your cost percentage immediately. These are powerful tactics, and I'm going to start right off with the first one. This is the one that I'm most passionate about. It's why I do Bar Patrol, is you need to stop the bleeding. This is the most important low-hanging fruit you can get right off the bat. And people freak out about getting a good inventory system in. They don't want to spend any money. But it's the same thing like if you had your water just running in your house and you're spending $100 a day because you won't buy a $3 gasket to fix it. It's the same thing here. Okay, you don't have to choose Bar Patrol. Choose something else. I don't care, but you've got to get something that's tracking what's going on inside your bar, because the average mid-sized bar loses $185 per day due to bartender theft, overpours, negligence, etc. That's a big number, especially when you start adding it up. Almost $1,300 per week, $5,500 per month, $67,000 per year, the average mid-sized bar. Okay, this is just national industry average. I'm not making these numbers up. This is just the truth. 25% is lost. A quality inventory system will be able to track how accurately your bartenders are pouring. That's the most important thing. Not to mention, you're going to be able to count a lot faster. You know, what you're doing now is just counting extremely slow, and you're tracking everything on paper. You need new technology. Even though it takes something to learn new technology, it's so important. It's why you have an iPhone now. It's why you have DVR. You don't use a fax machine anymore. You've got to move on. It's going to make your life a lot easier. All right, this helps lower your losses from, like I said, 25% down to like 5% within a couple weeks. That's a lot of money. All right, number 2. Raise your prices. A lot of people freak out on this. I don't want to raise my prices. No one's going to come back and see me. Just deliver value and you'll be just fine. Give great customer service. Give a great experience. You'll be just fine. And with that, I'm not even asking you to raise your prices by a big margin. I'm talking a small margin. All right, let's go through an example. I'm going to show you a very conservative example of how much money you can make just by raising your prices just a little bit. Let's say that you sell 1,000 items per week. All right, what does that mean? What's an item? All right, a food item would be like an appetizer, a main dish, a dessert. That's one item. All right, if you're behind the bar item could be a beer, a wine, a cocktail, etc. Okay, one item, one food or bar item. Let's say at 1,000 items per week, that's 143 items per day. That means if just 70 people per day come in and order 2 items each, you're going to hit that number. All right, I believe that on average you can get 70 people in there with the weekends thrown in there, and then just 2 items, that's pretty low too. This is a very conservative number. I'm sure you can even do a lot better than that. So let's say that 250 of the items were food and 750 were from the bar. If you raised each item on your food menu just $1 each and on your bar menu 50 cents, your food revenue would increase $250 per week and your bar revenue would increase $375 per week. Let's look what that means. That's $32,500 per year in increased revenue from that small price increase. Do 50 cents on each end, I don't care, because I believe that your bar and restaurant probably sells more than 1,000 items per week. So you can see how powerful that is and how quickly you can raise revenue by just a small price increase that your customers won't even notice. So let's move on to number 3, portion size. This is very important. And this is for both your bar and your food products. All right, we're not just setting up portions for the bar. You got to make sure that the kitchen is equipped with everything they need, the ladles, utensils, any type of necessary measuring device they need that helps measure out the portions so they can make the dish efficiently and also not make too much of the dish, obviously. So we're not going over the portions. And this means pre-cutting steaks or chicken, put anything in baggies any type of standard that you're setting, you need to make sure you give them the right tools so they can do it. And then from behind the bar, we need to create regimented portion sizes for shots, martinis, cocktails, and wine pours. All right, and as we create these standards, it's very important that we create these, that we deliver this information to the staff. But then again, you're going to need an inventory system that can follow up and make sure that they are meeting those standards. If you don't have anything to track them, you have no idea if they're doing it. You can't just say it and then hope they do it. You have to have something to follow up. So what should those portion sizes be for behind the bar? And I'm going to tell you right now, don't worry, I won't leave you hanging, dog. Let's go over it right now. Shot and mixed drinks, 1.5 ounces. Mixed drinks being like Jack and Coke, gin and tonic, simple drinks like that. 1.5 ounces is the industry average. Some people do 1.25 ounces. Some bars do even 1 ounce. If you're doing 2 ounces, you're getting up there too high. I know you want to take care of your regulars, make the drink taste strong, but you're going to have a tough time making a profit unless you raise the prices. If you're pouring more portion, you have to raise the prices to meet your goal target on your cost percentage. All right, martini should be 2.5 ounces. A lot of places I go to, I mean, it's like 4 ounces of liquor going in there. I can just tell by how far they fill up the martini glass. Make sure when you make your martinis that there's a lot of ice in the shaker, so when you pour it in there, it dilutes the liquor in there. It gets a little more water. Shake it up really good, and then put an olive in there, and it dispenses the liquor, moves it up. It's all perceived value that they got going on. 2.5 ounces there. Cocktails, 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces. These will be cocktails on your cocktail menu, Mai Tai, things like that. A lot of these are getting 3 ounces of liquor. Again, if you're going to do that, you have to raise your price. Try to keep it in that range. Wine, 6-ounce pours, and champagne, 5-ounce pours. So there's your portion sizing. If you get a hold of that, it's going to help you a lot. So let's move on to number 4, product mix. What in the hell is product mix, Dave? Well, product mix means what kind and how much of each ingredient are you using. More specifically, like what brands are you using in the kitchen and behind the bar? Expensive, cheap. This makes a big difference when you're making your menus. How much it's costing you to put it on your menu and how much you're charging the guests. You got to find that sweet spot. Do you sell a lot of well liquors that pour at 5 or 6%, or do you sell premium liquors that pour at 17 or 18%? There's a big difference here. Are you a wine bar or have a large draft beer selection? Wine is about 20 to 35%. There's a really wide range. Draft beer, bottled beer, that's in the 20 to 25% range. So if you're selling more of these things, your cost percentage is going to go up. But not everything is just cost percentage. Remember, cost percentage measures the gross profit margin on your products. We talked about this in the last video. You can go check it out. I'll put a card up right now of what cost percentage is, how to calculate it, and all that. So the lower your cost percentage, the more profit you make. However, all right, it doesn't just end there. We also have to remember that we're banking dollars, not percentages. All right, so we're not just looking for the holy grail of a low percentage. We want to sell products that bring in the most money or have the most profit. So even though Grey Goose might have a cost percentage of 18%, your well liquors are pouring at 5%, we want to sell the Grey Goose because it makes you more money overall. Per shot, it's bringing in more money. So that's the most important thing. All right, what does all this mean? I'm blabbering on and on. What does it mean? It means when you create your cocktail menu and your food menu, it's best to find that sweet spot between quality and profitability. Okay, so if you have a cocktail menu and your cocktails on there are $8 or $9, you don't want to be pouring like Hendrick's for a cocktail at that price. It's going to cost you too much, or some expensive scotch. You can find something, Hendrick's might be $40 a bottle. Maybe you can put Tanqueray in there that's like $23 a bottle. It's still a quality gin, but you're not going with the most expensive, and your guests will still be happy. If you have like a lower end sports bar or dive bar and the people just don't care, still create a good cocktail menu, but you can literally put some cheap stuff on there. Use Burnett's grape vodka if you're using some flavored Otter Pop drink or something like that. Use the cheapest ones because they don't even care. All right, you got to do it based on your clientele. Are you a nicer place? Are you a mid-range place? What are you doing? Find that sweet spot that will lower your cost percentage but also get you the most profits. All right, moving on to number 5, buy in bulk. And you have to be very careful with this. People love to buy in bulk when they get a deal, and then they wind up with a storage full of crap. All right, so only buy in bulk what you will actually use in a relatively short period of time. Dead stock kills. Okay, it ties up capital and makes your liquor room just unorganized. Stuff gets buried in there that you'll never get out of there. When buying food in bulk, be cautious when ordering perishable items. Okay, you don't want to order a bunch of stuff just because you got it cheaper and then you got to throw it all away. All right, and when we talk about dead stock, especially in the liquor room, every bar I go in there and they got 36 weeks of some kind of wine. They got 19 bottles of banana schnapps. Don't order in bulk what you're not going to use. But let me show you how powerful this is. If you have something that you do use quite a bit and you can buy in bulk, let's give you an example of what it is. So if you normally buy Jameson, say at $27 per bottle, and you get it at bulk, say you buy 3 or 4 cases and you get it for $21 per bottle, and you pour 1.5 ounces, and shots for Jameson are $7, the pour cost for Jameson goes from 17.14% down to 13.33%. That's 3.81% lower for each bottle. So you can see it does have some value if you can buy in bulk, both on the bar and the food side. But again, you got to make sure on the food side that you're careful with the perishable items. All right, number 6, we're getting through this. Sell your free or dead stock bottle. So speaking of dead stock, if you got something in there that's just not moving, even if you bought it, but you know it's not going to sell, you've got to get it out of there. I would take free, people always ask me, should I take free bottles? I would take them if you know that you can move them. And the way we do that, go through your storage room, pull out all of your free bottles or dead stock that won't sell, and have your bartenders and servers come up with cocktail and shot ideas for specials. This is kind of fun for them. They can create these. You can have special nights where they come in. A lot of times we'll do this during the holidays, during Christmas. We'll make up a shot and a drink, and people will come in, and we'll have a holiday special. It's pure profit because, I mean, if you bought some of your dead stock, it's not pure profit, but it is in the case that it's never going to move. It's just going to sit there. So why not make some money from it? And for the free stuff, it is pure profit. Okay, have a shot of the week, have a wine of the day, Tuesday mystery cocktail night, anything like that will work. And that brings us to the final tactic of how to lower your cost percentage immediately. Dun, da, da. Number 7, create a flight program. This one's kind of exciting. It's not just creating regimented portion sizes for your bar and restaurant. This one will get people coming into your place. So it's not only more profitable, people get excited because of the variety. All right, types of flight programs like wine, like you see here, you give different samples of just a smaller portion. Liquor, whiskey flights are very popular. Scotch, even tequila. Draft beer, also very popular. And then you can do an appetizer sampler. That's not technically a flight, but you're basically giving them a sample, a smaller sample, all in one. But you have to be careful in appetizer sampler because it can get expensive for you. That's why a lot of people will take it off their menu. You can't do wings because those are very expensive. So make sure you cost out your appetizer sampler if you're going to do that. But people do love an appetizer sampler. All right, people love the variety of a flight program. They don't have to buy 3 or 4 full portions to sample each one. For instance, someone might be in and you have 4 local beers they really want to try, but they don't want to get wasted, so they're not going to order 4 pints. But if you have a flight of them, a variety, they get very excited and they'll go ahead and order it. And you can charge a little bit more because the price is hidden, air quotes, in the unique portion sizes. And what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, that your pints on average are $5. Okay, for a flight, you can do 4 4-ounce pours, which is also 16 ounces, for $7. So you can see the price increase already, and you would think that people would, see that, but they don't. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that 4 times 4 is 16. They just see the variety. They're not cross-checking stuff, and they go, wow, 4 different samples right there for $7. Let's do it. They jump right on it. All right, so how does this translate to dollars and percentages? Let's take a look. So a half barrel size is the most common size. It's a 15.5 gallon keg. It gets 1,984 ounces. If you divide that by 16 ounces, which is a pint, you get 124 pints per keg. Let's say that the keg is $125. That's what it costs you. And at $5 per pint, you're going to get $620 out of that keg, assuming there's not a foam problem or your bartenders are giving it away and so on and so forth. So the cost percentage on that keg is going to be $20.16%. That's your going rate. All right. Your profit on there is going to be $495. I forgot the profit. I was just doing percentages. Let's go on and look at this one here. So we had $5 per pint. Now we moved it to $7 for the flight. It's the same portioning, but now you're going to make $868 on there instead of $620. Let's look at the cost percentages now. What that does is it lowers your cost percentage down to 14.4%, and it moves your profit up to $753. The difference here, cost percentage goes down by almost 6% with your flight program per keg. Profit up $258 per keg. So you can see how, I'm getting all excited right now. You can see how powerful a flight program is because it's creative, people love it, but you can also make a lot more money on it. All right, so that's your 7 ways to lower your cost percentage immediately. I hope it helped. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I talked for a long time, but this stuff's very important. I get excited about it. So make sure to email me if you have any questions at dave@TheRealBarman.com. I'm going to see you next time. I hope you have a great week. I hope you make $1 million. I'll see you then. I'm out.